Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of the Be English podcast. I'm your host, John Miller.
And I'm Emily Carter. Hi, everyone. We are so happy to have you here with us today.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the Hive. Our goal here at Be English podcast is very simple. We want to help you improve your English listening and speaking skills in a way that is fun, relaxed, and encouraging.
Exactly. No stress, no pressure, just a natural conversation to help you get used to the flow of the English language. So, grab a cup of tea or coffee and let's get started.
So, Emily, the weekend is coming up soon. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, John, I am so ready for the weekend. It has been a very long week at work. I feel like I just need to sleep for 2 days straight.
I know that feeling. It's tempting to just close the curtains and stay in bed. But actually, that brings us to our topic for today. We are talking about how not to let your weekend pass meaninglessly.
Oh, that is such a good topic. You know, sometimes I do nothing all weekend, and then on Monday morning I feel even worse.
Right? It's strange how that happens. We think doing nothing is resting, but sometimes it's actually draining. So today, we want to share some tips on how to make the most of your free time so you feel refreshed and happy when the new week starts.
Yes, we want you to enjoy your time off, not just waste it. So, if you are listening, stick around. We have some great advice for you. And don't forget, try to repeat some of the phrases we used today to practice your pronunciation.
Shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
So let's talk about the trap of doom scrolling. Emily, be honest with me. Have you ever spent a Saturday morning just looking at your phone in bed?
Oh, John, why do you have to call me out like that? Yes, absolutely. I wake up, I grab my phone to check the weather, and then suddenly, boom, it's 11 a.m. and I am still in my pajamas watching videos of cute cats on Instagram.
The cute cats are dangerous. They are very distracting. But seriously, this is what we mean by a meaningless weekend. When we engage in passive consumption, like watching TV for 6 hours or scrolling through social media, our brains are not actually resting.
That makes so much sense. When I do that, my brain feels foggy. It's like a cloud is inside my head. I haven't moved my body, I haven't spoken to anyone, and I haven't accomplished anything.
Exactly. It's called passive rest. It's okay for maybe 1 hour, but not for 2 days. When the weekend is over, you feel like time just disappeared. You ask yourself, what did I do? And the answer is nothing.
That is a terrible feeling. It makes me feel guilty. So the first step is realizing that lying on the couch all day isn't the only way to relax. We need to be aware of how much time we spend on screens.
Right. I try to have a rule now. No phone for the first hour of the morning on Saturdays. I try to drink my coffee and just look out the window or maybe talk to my wife.
That sounds lovely. It's about being present, right? Being in the moment. Instead of watching other people live their lives on a screen, you should live your own life.
Precisely. So that leads us to the idea of active rest. This might sound confusing to some of our listeners. Emily, how would you describe active rest?
Well, active rest means doing an activity that is low stress but keeps your mind or body engaged. It gives you energy instead of taking it away.
Can you give me an example? What did you do last weekend that felt like active rest?
Okay, let me think. Last Sunday I went for a walk in the park. It wasn't a hard workout, just a gentle walk. I listened to some music, breathed in the fresh air, and looked at the trees. When I came home, I felt so energized.
That was a perfect example. Physical movement, even if it is slow, helps wake up your body. For me, active rest is usually cooking.
Oh, really? Cooking? But isn't that work?
For some people, yes, but for me, chopping vegetables and smelling the spices, it's very relaxing. It's creative. I'm not thinking about emails or deadlines. I'm just thinking about making a delicious pasta sauce.
Now you're making me hungry. But I get your point. It's a hobby. Doing a hobby is a great way to make the weekend meaningful. It could be painting, playing the guitar, or even gardening.
Yes, it gives you a sense of achievement. Even if you just baked a cake or drew a small picture, you created something. You can look at it and say, I did that. It feels much better than saying, I watched 10 episodes of a TV show.
Definitely. But John, we should also mention social connection. I think hanging out with friends is important too, right?
Absolutely. Humans are social creatures. Sometimes a meaningless weekend happens because we isolate ourselves. We stay inside alone.
True. Even just meeting a friend for a quick coffee can change your whole mood. I remember 2 weeks ago, I was feeling a bit sad. I didn't want to go out, but my friend Sarah called me and said, let's go get some ice cream.
And did you go?
I did, and it was the highlight of my weekend. We talked, we laughed, and I forgot about all my stress. If I had stayed home, I would have just been sad and bored.
That's a great story. It shows that you need to make a small effort. You have to push yourself a little bit to go out, but the reward is huge.
So to summarize this part, do something active, do a hobby, or see a friend. Don't just be a potato on the couch. Giggles.
A couch potato. That's a great idiom for our listeners. Being a couch potato means sitting on the sofa and watching TV all the time. Don't be a potato.
Okay, so we're active, we're having fun, but John, what about Sunday evening? That is the scary part of the weekend for me.
Ah, yes, the famous Sunday scaries. That anxious feeling that the weekend is over and work is about to start.
Yes, around 6 p.m. on Sunday, I start thinking, oh no, I have a meeting tomorrow, or where are my keys, or I have no clean clothes.
That panic can ruin the end of your weekend. So my strategy for a meaningful weekend includes the Sunday reset.
A reset? Like restarting a computer?
Exactly. Think of it as preparing your life for the week ahead. If you spend just 1 or 2 hours on Sunday evening getting ready, Monday becomes much easier.
That sounds smart. What does your reset look like?
Well, first, I look at my calendar for the week. I check what meetings I have. Just knowing what is coming helps me feel calm. Then I pick out my clothes for Monday morning.
Oh, I need to do that. I always run around in the morning looking for socks.
See, if you find your socks on Sunday night, Monday morning is peaceful. I also like to do a little bit of meal prep. Maybe cut up some fruit or make a sandwich for lunch the next day.
I love that. I think tidying up the apartment is part of my reset. I can't relax if there are dishes in the sink. So on Sunday night, I wash the dishes and wipe the tables. Waking up to a clean kitchen on Monday is the best feeling.
It really is. It sets a positive tone. You feel like you're in control of your life. You're not rushing, you're ready.
And you know what? When you do these things, the active rest, the hobbies, and the seeing friends, and the Sunday reset, the weekend feels longer.
That is so true. It feels longer because you created memories. You have distinct moments to look back on. If you sleep all weekend, it feels like it lasted 5 minutes.
Wow, you're right. It's about creating texture in your time, mixing relaxation with action.
Well, Emily, I think we've covered some really great points today. I'm actually feeling quite inspired to plan my next weekend now.
Me too, John. I think I'm going to plan a hike for Saturday morning and definitely prepare my clothes on Sunday night. No more missing socks.
That sounds like a solid plan. Let's just quickly recap for our listeners, just to make sure we remember everything.
Sure. First, avoid the passive rest trap. Don't just spend the whole weekend scrolling on your phone or being a couch potato. It drains your energy.
Correct. Second, try active rest. Move your body, go outside, or engage in a hobby like cooking or painting. Do something that brings you joy and satisfaction.
And don't forget to socialize. Seeing a friend or family member can boost your mood. Finally, use Sunday evening for a Sunday reset. Prepare for the week ahead so you can start Monday feeling calm and ready.
perfect summary. We also used some good vocabulary today. We talked about doom scrolling, which means endlessly looking at bad news or social media.
And we used recharge, which means to get your energy back, like a battery. And of course, couch potato. I hope you aren't one.
We really hope this episode helps you have a better, more meaningful weekend. We would love to hear from you. What is your favorite way to spend a Saturday?
Yes, please tell us in the comments. Do you like to go to the park? Do you like to read? Or maybe you have a special hobby? Let us know.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider subscribing to the Be English podcast. It really helps us grow the channel and reach more learners like you.
Share this episode with a friend who needs some weekend motivation. Thank you so much for listening today. You all are amazing bees. Cheerful tone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic, productive, and restful weekend. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Waving tone.